SteelSeries just released their new wireless gaming headset, the Arctis Nova 5. This really might be the new sweet spot for wireless gaming headsets. Stick through this video and I'll tell you why. But first off, inside your box, of course, you're going to get your headset. And as you're noticing, we're covering the 5X. This also comes in a 5P and then a regular 5, which is PlayStation, Xbox, and then PC. But we're covering the X version here, which you can use on every single platform, as we're very familiar with the SteelSeries X line of headsets. We just switched to dongle. We'll talk more about this later. But anyways, I recommend going with the 5X. So again, headset, your dongle, your USB-C to A, your USB extender or adapter for USB-C, some stickers, and then your manual. But you all know I have to kick it off with comfort, and I want to start off with the weight of this headset. Slapping it on a scale here, hopefully you guys can see that in the camera. We're getting right at 266 grams, and no joke, this thing is incredibly lightweight, especially for a wireless headset packing what it's packing. We'll get more into that later, but again, it is super lightweight here. As far as the ear pads, pretty much standard what we're used to with SteelSeries. As far as the length, plenty long, plenty wide, and plenty deep, if you can see that with the shadow there. They do have the cloth material right there, and then on the inside you have a little bit of pleather. Incredibly easy to change, just peel right off. You get your new ones, tuck it in there, swing it around, and they're going to tuck right in. But again, the standard ear pads we're used to with SteelSeries, very comfortable, very plush. Some would say maybe a little bit shallow. You know, go scoop up your Wicked cushions. Links down in the description if you're interested in those. But again, easily replaceable. As far as the headband, you got that tension right up there, which can adjust right on the inside. As we're familiar with a lot of the Nova lines, you can adjust it right on those bits. But you also have the adjustability on the inside here. So you can pull those out. Very nice tension as well. So these aren't going to be slipping on you mid-use. You got that full swivel, a little bit forward and all the way back there. And then, of course, your ear cups go in and out. And I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but right in here, you have a little dampening foam. There you go. You can see it right there. So whenever it bounces back and forth, you don't get that cheap plasticky feeling. When you take this headset and put it on your head, even with a glasses wearer like myself here, I don't feel any of that pressure going right on here. Again, you got that full swivel. You got the headband that's adjustable. You got the arms that are adjustable as well. So if you want a little bit tighter, you can make it a little bit tighter. Me personally, I like mine kind of right at that medium length, and that's what I got right here. As far as that tension, the force, the clamping force is right at that medium. Again, no pressure whatsoever. And I don't even notice it on my head. It is so lightweight and again, just plush. It just sits there. It is incredibly comfortable, or better yet, stinking cozy. Now, going right in line with the lightweight of this headset, talking about the build, it is all plastic. Everything from the hinges, the ear cups over here. This is actually kind of like a soft material. So if you set it down, it almost, I don't know, it's just not that hard plastic right there. So maybe that'll give you some absorption there. It kind of has that rubbery feel. But again, going up into your hinges, your brackets, your headband, everything is plastic, but that also plays into that lightweight. But when I take this headset and I stretch it up and twist it up and everything, I'm not really getting worried because again, you got all that adjustability. Now, again, if those were locked in there and I'm doing this and twisting it up, that's where I'm going to get worried because again, you're going to get all this tension from here up to here, all the way around the entire headset, but you got that flexibility moving around. So I'm not really getting worried about this whatsoever. And I've said this in many of my headset videos that I will always take a lightweight plastic headset over a heavy duty metal headset. The Audeze headset, right? It's a fantastic headset, but my gosh, it is so stinking heavy. Something like this, if you're gaming for long sessions, you don't want it, again, tugging down on your neck or your head or anything. You want to forget about that headset on there and just get immersed into your game. And that's what you get right here. And even though it's all plastic, it doesn't feel chintzy whatsoever. I like the build here. Now, features and functions, and we have a lot to cover here, so stay with me. Again, let's start with the dongle here. We're using the X version, which is the Xbox version, but don't really take it like that because it'll use it across every single platform. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me get down here. I'm going to get the box. Let me just show you this on the box. Hopefully we get some focus right here, and you can see it'll tell you every single platform it can be used on. Everything. It can be used on every single platform. And how that's working, let me set that down, is over here on the dongle. You see you got the Xbox tab, flip it over, and then USB tab. So obviously you're on Xbox, you switch it over there. Every other platform, switch it over to USB, and you're good to go. Anyways, coming over to the headset here, as you got your mic mute, you got your volume wheel, tops out at the highest, bottoms out to the lowest, retractable microphone, which you also have that light up mute button up there, which you can adjust. Over here on the other side, you have your Bluetooth pairing button or your quick switch button, because it does have Bluetooth, which is Bluetooth 5.3, but it's not simultaneous. You switch one to the other. I'll talk more about that here in the sound. You got your power button here, and then you got your game to chat, and then your USB-C charging, which you get up to 60 hours of battery life on us via Bluetooth and up to 50 hours on 2.4. And with a 15-minute charge, you can get up to 6 hours of use. So battery life is not going to be an issue here. So continuing on with features and functions, let's go and get this microphone test. This is what you're hearing right now, straight up plugged and played, no tweaking, no editing, no nothing. This is raw microphone. And a big thing SteelSeries did with this new headset is updated the chipset. They call it like the Gen 2 or something like that. Anyways, the audio is going to be 16-bit. And I did a sample of this microphone, just listened already, and I myself can tell that the microphone is definitely upgraded. We all know SteelSeries microphones have been airy, very tinny, just like a bad cell phone or walkie-talkie type sound, right? I've stated it in so many videos. But I will tell you now, this one is definitely a little more clear. There's got a little more of a body in it. It just sounds more natural. And again, this is no tweaking or anything. But there is one thing I will tell you. I still feel like it picks up a lot of my P's and T's. I don't know, maybe if I pull the microphone out a little bit more, will it be better? Not too sure. I think a windscreen would definitely help with that. Again, that's the way I talk. My P's and T's are definitely a little bit more prominent. What you can do is slap a windscreen, a little pop filter over this, but then you're going to lose the microphone mute notification. You're going to lose that feature. But on the other hand, you do get a tone in the headset whenever you mute it, so you know it's muted. And then also, like me, for example, I got side tone set to, I believe, 1 notch, a little quarter way right there, and the side tone will cut off. So if you're not hearing yourself in your headset, you know your microphone's muted, which again is a nice feature there. So if you're like me, then you can do that, but then you're also going to lose the retractability there. So the microphone's definitely improved big time, but I think it's going to depend on how you talk. Is it going to still pick up some of those P's and T's? But I think this microphone blows away the previous SteelSeries microphones for sure. But other than talking about the microphone, I want to talk about the software here. And this has been kind of, I don't know, a little bit iffy, right? So I was on my PC and I was using it. I had access to Engine, Sonar, updates and all that stuff. But then I had another update on it and my Sonar just went kaputs on me, or my SteelSeries Engine. So whenever I load the headset up on my PC, I get a fatal error warning and the system closes down. I tried reinstalling it, all sorts of stuff, and I still get it with this headset. So I installed it on my son's PC and everything worked fine, but it went straight to Sonar, which is weird because, again, when I first started using this headset, I had access to everything. I could do Engine, Sonar, whatever, and now it's just going straight to Sonar right there. So I went ahead and installed it on my Mac. And same thing, it goes straight to Sonar. I couldn't take access to the Engine. I don't know if that was an update there or something. Again, I've been using this headset for a little while, so again, updates are going to happen, and maybe the updates happened, messed up my PC as far as the Engine there, and now you can't use Engine. So again, maybe later on down the road there'll be a fix to that, or again, since I'm using an early copy, that is why that's happening. But the software has been a little bit finicky for me. But going right in line with software, not to keep rambling about features and functions, a really cool update here, the first from SteelSeries, is you now have app control right here. So I'm on iOS, I'm on an iPhone here, and you're hearing this microphone plugged in via, or synced up via Bluetooth. It's recording right on my phone. As you can see right here, we're going live here. Let's scroll that up, and we're going to load up the app. And you can see you got the different options in. You got 2.4 and Bluetooth. And what that's going to do is give you different functions for 2.4, or if you're over here on Bluetooth like us, you have a different EQ. You saw it change over there? So you can cycle all of these. These are different Sonar EQs in here, which I'm going to talk more about in the sound. But anyways, the cool thing is, so say you're over here on Bluetooth and you got, I don't know, where's that, Call of Duty over here, right? Then you come over to 2.4 and you're back to Destiny. So if you're on console or then mobile gaming, really cool to have that. And again, just being able to control it right on the fly. Now you have to be in Bluetooth mode on this. It's not, again, simultaneous. So when the headset's on Bluetooth, you adjust it, bam, it's going to save to it and then sync over to it. So if you're in game, just hit the quick switch button on the back, adjust your EQ to what you want, bam, go back into it, and it will save right to the headset. And if you set something on Sonar, it'll actually set to this as well. So it's kind of like saves to the headset.
headset and then transfers over to whatever you're using. By the way, you can go down here. Let me see if I got it saved in here somewhere. There you go. So you can see I got test. And again, so if you set a Sonar EQ on the PC, it'll save to this. Now, unfortunately, you can't adjust an EQ on here. I hope that's something they update. That would be really cool. But right now, you have to go to the PC, you save it, and then it saves to this here. So, again, I didn't find myself needing that, which I'll talk more about in the sound. But again, let me get back to my Destiny. You can save a preset. It just has to be done on PC. Okay, coming back down here, you got microphone volume. You can see I'm pretty much at halfway. Let's see if I crank it all the way up. So now microphone volume is cranked all the way up. Am I set on Bluetooth? Okay, so there we go. Microphone volume is set all the way up. Must just maybe EQ that saves to Bluetooth and 2.4. Now if we crank it down to say 25% or so right down here, that's what it sounds like. Before, you've been hearing it pretty much right in the halfway tone. And again, my side tone's been right at 25% there, which is a pretty nice side tone. I don't sound like I'm yelling in me. I do hear my P's and T's, and my breath's a little bit in there. So if you're not a fan of side tone, just tone it down. But again, I got so used to it. I definitely like a little notch of side tone in there. And then, of course, your LED brightness. And right over here, you have your settings as far as firmware, your power options there when it's going to shut down. And then over here, again, it just shows you your battery life and your connection. The other thing I want to talk about is using a phone call. So if we're connected via 2.4 like we're right now, and I get a phone call, you actually get a tone in the headset. It's not like your ringtone. It's like this little doorbell chime type thing, you know, real soft, subtle sound back there to let you know you're getting a phone call. You can pick it up with that multi-switch button over there. Pick up your call, get it through. I did get a couple calls, and they all said I sounded pretty good via the microphone. And then if you want to hang it up, bam, you just press it right there, and it'll go right back to your 2.4. Right? So you're in your game, you're playing your game, phone call, tone, bam, pick it up. You're going to go to your phone call. That's primary audio. That's all you're going to hear right there. Hang it up, bam, it's going to switch right back to 2.4 if that's the mode you're in, and then go right back to your game. So again, as much as I like simultaneous, I don't catch myself listening to music too much. That's only when I'm playing like a racing game or a game I've played so much, you know, that I don't really need to focus on dialogue. But again, me playing a lot of story games lately, I don't catch myself doing that. But I do want to get my phone calls, especially with my son being in school and everything. So I don't want to miss something important, and I still get that. So simultaneous, it's nice to have, but I don't think it's needed. This is definitely doing it right.
Hold up. There's one last thing I want to talk about features and functions. I apologize. I really apologize. But again, if SteelSeries, if you're watching out there, one thing I want to mention to you guys that hopefully you can do. So we all know SteelSeries with the dongles USB-C over here. They got the A to C adapter, so you get in if you're going into your PlayStation or Xbox or something like that, and you don't got that C port, you can just route this wire and route it to wherever you want. Cool, it works, sure, but again, it's cluttered, right? I wish they would start including these little adapters. I believe they include them in some of their mice, but again, you can just take your dongle, plug it into this little adapter, bam, plug it into the console. Less clutter, it's convenient, it's right there. Please start including this with your headsets, but for right now, I'll include a link for these little ones I used off Amazon. This is pretty much what I always use, just again to reduce clutter, but I think SteelSeries, you guys should start including that little adapter. Okay, so now that we're done with the incredibly long features and functions segment, I think the only time I've ever talked longer about features and functions is with the Arctis Nova Pros. So I apologize. I just wanted to share that stuff with you. Really cool. But let's go and talk about the sound here. 40mm drivers, frequency range of 20 to 20,000, right? Pretty much what you're familiar with all the Nova lines, and that's what you're getting here. You're getting that Nova sound, a little bit more body in it compared to the old Arctis line, right? You definitely have that full sound, but you also get that detail with the clarity of dialogue and stuff. And again, as I showed you in the phone using the app where you can cycle through all of those preset Sonar EQs, again, Sonar is a complex software, and I've talked about it before. It's not my favorite, but it really works. And why I say it's not my favorite is maybe it's just me being lazy. I want to get my headset, plug it in, get a good sound, and get to gaming. I don't want to sit there and tweak all these EQs. I got my Smiley Curve. I use an engine, and it works, right? So in Sonar, I don't really get in there and start tweaking all these bars and all this customization that you can do, which is incredibly cool and complex. But again, the presets that are on the phone right here or in Sonar on PC, they work. And why I say they work is because, again, me playing a lot of Destiny, and I put it on there, and I was like, this is pretty much spot on to the EQ I would use, right? A lot of headsets, they'll have a preset EQ like an FPS or a bass reduce or something like that, and it just ruins the sound. It's like that 7.1. I've stated it since I started this channel. Fake 7.1 is ridiculous and I don't recommend it. I couldn't stand it from day one, and I still stand by that now. But Sonar, it's legit, right? Those preset EQs are legit. And me playing Destiny, I got that body, I got the dialogue, I got the environment, the different sounds of the weapons is a big thing I like in Destiny, right? Or when I'm swarmed up by Hive or enemies or whatever, I don't want that to consume me and again make the headset sound dirty. I still want to get everything else. I still want to hear my weapons while those enemies are on me. Hopefully that makes sense. I like getting immersed into my games, and me getting immersed in my games is not just heavy bass, right? I still want that dialogue and I still want that detail of that environment to feel like I'm, again, in that environment. As corny and nerdy as that may sound, audio's number one to me, right? And that is what I want. And using these preset EQs, it really worked. And it was funny because I showed you that test EQ I had in there. And I just went in there and just dabbled with some stuff, threw out some bass and stuff. And I totally forgot when I was playing them for a day. I had that test EQ and I'm just like, something's just not right here. I went into my system. Let me make sure nothing's set on here or whatever. And I realized I just had my, just dabbled with test EQ. And I was like, okay, this is wrong. So I put it back to my Destiny one. I was like, man, I'm right back at home. And that's what really solidified the sound of this headset for me. Because again, the test EQ was nothing serious. I just went in there and threw up some bars, right? And I forgot I had it on. I'm like, something's not right. This bass is too heavy. It's too full. It's cutting into my dialogue. And when I realized, shoot, I didn't have my Destiny EQ on, I set it back there. And again, it was exactly what I would set. Nothing overdone, overdrawn, not too much highs, not too many bass or anything like that. It really worked out. And that, again, like I stated, solidified the sound of this headset. It just did what you needed for a gaming headset. And being able to control it on your phone, I love it. I love it. Again, I'll say it again. Every gaming headset, I wish had this, at least every wireless one. You can control it via your phone. So now for the final and maybe most important question of the new Arctis Nova 5s. Are they worth the asking price of $130? And me personally, I say yes. Hands down, this headset is packing a lot and featuring a lot. As y'all noticed from my features and functions segment, it is, again, offering a whole lot for that price point. Now, my one issue I had with this headset, again, was the software. But me using an early set here, going through multiple updates and firmware and stuff like that, I'm going to blame that on that. But again, not being able to use it on Engine on multiple other platforms, I'm not too sure what's going on right there. Maybe there'll be another update. That's a little bit of a stinker because I think we're going to need Engine for the software update. SteelSeries said you're not going to be able to update the software via the mobile app. We've seen Turtle Beach, you can update it through the app, I believe, but they told me you're not going to be able to do that through Bluetooth. Again, maybe an update will come. But take into account that I've been using this headset as an early copy for a while, so the software will more than likely be worked out. But me personally, I can push that aside, the software, as much as I don't want to, because a fault's a fault. Catch me right there. Not trying to fluff it or pad it by any means. A fault's a fault. But I never caught myself wanting to use Engine because I just used the mobile app. Again, I wish every headset had that. The mobile app is convenient. It's right there, and it's all I would use. And yes, I think this is the new sweet spot at $130 for a gaming headset, that mid-tier gaming headset. I say the same thing about the Arctis Nova 4s back when they came out. They're actually $10 cheaper than these, but you don't have the updated chipset for the microphone and you don't have app control. So I think the $10 definitely justifies the new 5s, and these will take over the 4s in my personal opinion. So there we go, the new SteelSeries Arctis Nova 5s. And as you can catch, I'm starting to lose my voice here. It's getting hard to talk because I've just been going on about this headset. And that's what makes a good headset for me. Something that I want to and can talk so much about and just go on and on and on. That, again, makes it a good product in my eyes. It makes me nerd out. There's so much packed into it that you can talk about it. And again, that just makes a fun, great product, in my opinion. And that's what the Nova 5s are. Good job, SteelSeries.